welcome to my channel. This is Simi Simplified. For those of you that are new here, welcome. For my old timers, thank you again for tuning in today. Okay, so as promised last time, I said I was going to do something on Kdramas. So I hope you stay tuned and listen to what we have today. So today is October 10. October 10 is known as World Mental Health Day, and also the month of October as a whole is known as World Mental Health Awareness. And we know that in recent times so many people have passed away from one mental health disorder or the other. I still remember the tragic story of the boy who was wrongly accused to have raped a girl, and he actually did a story, made a video of his last moments, and totally just blew my mind away, you know. I mean, he had been suffering from mental health disorders before that particular episode of him being wrongly accused, and then he being wrongly accused just like escalated it. So, I mean, I want to say that as people, we have to be very careful with the words that we speak. We have to be very careful with how we talk to people. We don't know what they are going through. We don't know where they are coming from. We don't even know their experiences, like and we have to be careful with the words we speak, especially. So you're wondering, what does this have to do with, and what does Kdrama have to do with mental health disorder? And if you have not watched my previous video, like my video that I talked about why I was coming on YouTube or why I even started the channel, I mentioned that for me, Kdrama is like they bring to reality some of the things that we like put high up there and say, oh, you know, you can't really relate to, but they make it somewhat relatable. Like they tackle a lot of social issues, and in a real sense, not just in a fantasy kind of sense, but in a real sense, like this is what people are going through in their lives, you know, like this is a real sense kind of thing. And so I want to go through some of my, I think my favorites, no, not really, but some of the K-dramas that I have seen that dealt with social issues like mental health disorder. Okay, so the first one I'll talk about is Good Doctor. I know everybody says The Good Doctor on US cable, but funny enough, the K-drama Good Doctor, the US Good Doctor is actually based off the K-drama Good Doctor. Yeah, when I found out, I was actually surprised that a lot of us that have seen The Good Doctor, you know, he talks about autism, and he also had the savant syndrome as well. And you know, just like seeing him overcome his challenges in a particular kind of way, like he was able to overcome those challenges, like despite how everybody was like, oh, should he even be a doctor, should he do this, should he do that, he was still able to overcome his challenges. Then another one that came out in 2020 is It's Okay Not to Be Okay. And I think that one, I like the fact that it dealt with not just the life of the person who has the mental health disorder, but also the life of their caregiver, the life of their family, and how it also affects them, how sometimes family has like all these suppressed emotions because, you know, they are trying to be sensitive to how their family member is and things like that. And I think a lot of times we overlook the family members as well, like how are they doing. And I think it's important that we also not just pay attention to the person who has a mental health disorder, but also pay attention to their family and see how we can be of support to them. So that one is actually called It's Okay Not to Be Okay. Now the third one is It's Okay, That's Love. And here goes the story of a doctor who had her own phobia, living with a roommate who had his own phobia, and then a new roommate joins them who was actually schizophrenic, but he had actually not been diagnosed, and just their journey through all that. And one thing I like about K-dramas is that when they pick a topic, they actually do a lot of things around that topic. So for example, in It's Okay Not to Be Okay, a lot of settings was done in a mental health institution, or a psychiatric hospital rather. So you had patients with DID, then you had the schizophrenic, you had the depressed patient, you had the one with the eating disorder, and you had so many things. Even the doctors and the nurses themselves were not like 100% perfect. Some of them are suffering from self-esteem issues and just having complex and things like that. And they kind of go into all like various manners of what mental health is, and that's one thing that I like. And then another one I've seen is my number 4. My number 4 is Kill Me, Heal Me, and this guy had dissociative identity disorder. That's what I'll call it. I know sometimes so yeah, he had that, and he suffered a trauma at a young age and just had all these different personalities that came out. Like when he had suffered through something insulting, one personality comes out, and that's like the protector personality. Then when you're just feeling childish, the childish personality comes out. So those are some of the like that was like the character's main the embodiment of the character, showing the different sides of dissociative identity disorder. And I think like it was also educative, because you just wonder, why is this person behaving like this? Why is this person behaving? I'm not saying that we can self-diagnose and we can go ahead and diagnose people, but I think we can give leeway and watch for things and be able to, like with a family member, and say, let's go have like a checkup, let's go see a therapist or something. And the thing is that a lot of times, even here in Nigeria, there's a lot of taboo around mental health, and I think we need to break that table. We need to shatter the table, because people are suffering in silence. They are quiet. They are suffering, and there's help, but then they're not accessing the help because of what somebody may say, what will happen here. And there's so many times that I believe that speaking out does a lot for the people who cannot speak out. Like talking about my miscarriages and my fertility issues and my fertility journey. There are some people that cannot speak out just because of their environment, but you speaking out about your challenges, you speaking about things, it can bring hope and encouragement to somebody else. I want to interject in here and say, do not be silent. Like, if you can speak out, be bold about it, speak out. There's somebody that needs to hear about your story. I don't want us to be hidden. Let us break all the taboos. Like, let's speak out and begin to heal, because speaking out helps with your healing process as well. So speak out and begin to heal. Then another one I would like to talk about is Hijacking Me, and he has personality disorder. And just going through their lives, like the people that interact with them, not knowing that they had a disorder. So many times, even as we say in Nigeria, that, oh, don't let anybody know. They also have that culture and career too, saying, don't let anybody know, don't let anybody. Especially when the character is like they call them chivals. If he's rich, and his family is rich, you're going to be like, oh, if people find out, their stock prices will go down. I mean, I don't see why someone talking about their mental health issues should make your stock prices go down. But that's life. That's human beings for you. Like, we use these things to take advantage of each other, and I hope that we would stop taking advantage of each other. So another one is My Shy Boss, and it was kind of, I think they put a little twist of comedy to it, but he had experienced a trauma that made him really antisocial. It made him really antisocial. So yeah, there's another one called Chocolate, and they actually went through PTSD. Some people may know PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and obviously there are things that trigger those experiences, like when you've gone through something so traumatic that when you hear something or smell something or see something that was similar to the experience, like the reaction you had during that, the whole effect of the trauma comes back on you. And some people are literally paralyzed. You go about shouting, covering their ears. Like, it's a lot of soldiers who have been to war, who have been in battle, actually go through PTSD. And we as a society, as family members as well, have to look out for these things, so that we can just make sure that our family members are healthy all around. And I always say, that health is not just physical health, but also mental health and spiritual health as well. Like, all those aspects of us actually make up a whole person. So it's, you're looking for a whole person wellness. Not wellness is not just health, not just physical health, but also mental health, spiritual health. So yeah, and then there's another one called My Mister, and that one deals with depression. A lot of people sometimes you throw that word around like nonchalant. So, I'm just feeling depressed. But there are some people that are really, really depressed, and I don't want us to get to a point where we are so desensitized to depression, because that word is just being thrown around so much. Depression can also lead to suicide attempts, and some people could be depressed and they don't have any suicidal thoughts. It doesn't take away from them being depressed, but yeah, we have to also be aware of that. And then we also have Cheese in the Trap. This guy had an antisocial personality disorder. Like, if you offend him, he goes at the back and deals with you in such a way that you won't, like, when you come and confront him that you did this to me, he'll make you feel so stupid that you're like, am I sure I saw things right? Did I hear things right? So there are so many different disorders that people go through. Then there's also Clean with Passion, and that one was about OCD. OCD is a real thing, obsessive compulsive disorder. Like, if you want to go out of the house, you have to check the lock 3 times. Oh, this is not saying someone that says, oh, I like my stuff being where I left it, like it must be in that position I left it. Everybody's entitled to have their stuff put back how they left it. But this is more like, if you go outside, like most OCD people are also germophobes. Like, they're the ones that they have to wash their hands with hot water, scalding hot water, because they believe that without that the germs have not gone off from their body. They are bathing with scalding hot water. Like, the towels, there's a different towel for a different day, and they use bleach. Like, we can actually read up on these things. So yeah, those are my 10. There are some more, but those are 10 I think that they deal with different aspects of various mental health disorders. So yeah, I want that we should be mindful of how we speak to one another, because we really don't know everyone's working life. And for those of you that even know someone that has a mental health disorder, check in on them, encourage them, check in on their family members, their caregivers as well, because they may be overwhelmed and just keeping quiet and not saying anything about it. So remember, October 10 is World Mental Health Day, and the month of October as a whole is also World Mental Health Awareness. As always on this channel, Sarange. And now we're going to end with Anya.